down and let's just get into my beliefs. I made a list here, so I will be looking at that just so I don't lose track. Okay, soul contracts. My belief is that everyone has a soul contract. You have a soul contract. Your babies have a soul contract, and that includes your purpose and your mission. So every soul comes into this life, and they're supposed to learn something, and they are supposed to feel what they need to feel. So a baby's mission can it has a mission and purpose, and they can be very strict with timing, um, or location, or even what partner you have. And we'll be getting more into this later down the road of how you can actually tap into this, speak with your baby, and actually learn what their mission is. Some babies, they can work with any timing. Their mission is not time based. Other babies, it is. So, it might be that you will be a mom, just your baby can't come in for a few years because there's something very specific that it needs to do. Um, Babies in real life are really picky. Same with little spirit babies. They have great emotions and they act like babies. So they want what they want, and they want to make sure that they're being vocal, and they want to be very particular about what they come into. They pick their genders, they pick, their day and how they're going to fulfill their purpose. Um, so and we also have soul contracts too. So we are here to learn something, and your infertility journey could be that lesson. It's supposed to be here for something that you're supposed to learn. So, how can you really tap into the feeling of this was really hard? Today was a really hard day. What can I get from this? What is there a lesson in here that I can take? And is there something that I can learn? Or is there something that I need to feel and be able to release it? So, as parents, this might be our first lesson. It could be a lesson about independence. Um, the souls of our babies are their own. We don't own them, and they're on their own timeline. And then the souls are, our own. So nobody wants to be controlled. And then acceptance. This is a huge piece and a huge lesson that a lot of moms need to learn, and some not. You're all different, so you really have to tap into what is right for you. Um, so we have, sometimes you just need to release control. That was one for me. There's actually a lot for me. So when I was trying to conceive and, tapping into my baby, I kept on hearing the word hot. And I didn't know why, and I didn't really understand it. Um, Totally even forgot about it. A few months down the road, we moved from New York to Phoenix. Got pregnant right when we moved to Phoenix. So it kind of all made sense that my baby was waiting to go somewhere warm. And then also, it also, I also had a feeling, and something came over me that said, space. So I own two businesses. I own this business, IVF Mindset Healer, and then I own a digital marketing business. And I've owned that for about 4 years, and I worked like crazy. I worked all hours of the day, all hours of the night. I worked weekends, and I have a meditation ritual. So I was sitting down one day, and I kind of just like, what is going on? Feeling, obviously the lows that you feel. And I just heard the word space, and I knew what that meant. And I knew that I personally was not giving myself space to let the baby enter. If the baby would have come in at that time, I would have lost it. So I spent the entire year restructuring my business, hiring, and really getting to a place where I could step back and give myself space to receive. So some of you might resonate with that. Maybe you're working crazy hours. Maybe you're just always overbooked, overpacked, especially over the holidays. So really tune into your body and see what it needs, and just listen to your intuition on what it needs. Um, so I've already talked about this, but what you desire desires you back. This is a huge belief of mine. If you desire a baby, your baby desires you back. And one way that I, the way I try to explain it is, if you're making $50,000 a year, and you have the potential to get a raise to $75,000 per year, you feel into, like, you can feel it, like, I want that so badly, and you feel it. Um, then that $75,000 desires you back. That's actually in your realm and that's there for the taking. You just need to learn how to open yourself up so you can receive that. That same person, if you say they're not even thinking about being a billionaire, it might come across their mind once, but they're not actually tapping into that feeling of like, oh my God, I'm going to be a billionaire. This is possible. I totally, 1,000% desire this. So that is not even in their realm. Um, which means that that doesn't desire them back. That's probably not in their life at this point in time, and that's probably not on their track. Their track is at the 75,000 figure mark. And I learned this the hard way. I spent decades in corporate world, and I always had that urge for more. I always had that little feeling in my heart. And again, with the soul contract, like you have a soul contract, but you also have free will. I didn't listen. So when I had the first baby, um, 2 months down the road, we sent him to the hospital. We went in for a routine checkup, and they told us to go to the hospital immediately that our baby needed heart surgery. And that, of course, was incredibly devastating as, any mom, let alone a first time mom and one who worked so hard at bringing this baby into the world. He was our IVF baby. And I remember coming back. We were in and out of the hospital for months dealing with a bunch of stuff, but we got back and I remember just laying in the grass in the sun. And I remember thinking like, holy crap, like this is my sign. Like that little feeling in your heart like was that meant that I was for more. Like I was supposed to go after that, and it took me that lesson, that really hard lesson to learn um, that those feelings in your heart are there for a reason. So that is what you desire desires you back. So um, my other belief is that becoming pregnant is not between two people. It's not between two partners. It's between the three of you or the four of you, how many babies you have. It's between you, your partner, and your babies. And all of you have to be in alignment. So I told you about my space. At one point in time, my husband had a job that he hated. Um, didn't like it. He was just kind of like in a mopey mood. And what baby wants to come into that? And and then there was me with the space, and then you also have the baby that wanted to be in a hot environment. So all these little things, there's all these moving pieces, and it's really important to make sure that you're open and you're honest and you're talking about this and you're working through this stuff and you're releasing what you need to release. Um, yeah, so you really need to tap into, what in your life is not in alignment and what can you do to fix that? To, create a really great energetic space for your baby to come into this world. Okay, so that is more the personal beliefs, and I want to get into the universal laws, which I know a lot of you